Welcome here today, guys, to another edition of a predictions video, and this is for the Brickyard 400. I'm Keegan Schneider. I'm going to give you guys some fantasy live advice, drivers to stay away from, drivers that could be dark horse picks, and a driver that could obviously contend for the win and is a must-have in your fantasy lineup. We're packing up, we're ready to go, but I'm getting this last video out of here real quick. So without further ado, we're going to hop right on into this. Drivers you should stay away from. Alex Bowman is a must-definite stay-away pick here in today's race in his last two seasons. So his only two seasons in the 88 car in which he had raced in the Brickyard 400. He finished last year 21st and 33rd the year before that. I think it's just a safe pick. He's been... He started off the season hot, but he's really declined and regressed over the last couple weeks, so I think he's an obvious stay-away pick here today. Dark horse pick, Kenseth, I think can work out as a dark horse pick for today's Brickyard 400. The reason being, Kenseth, although he didn't race last year, of course he won a stage with Roush Fenway, but even before that, the 5 seasons stretching from 2013 to 2017, Kenseth had straight top 10 finishes in the Brickyard 400. So that is going to be that. You see somebody in the background loading up the back of the truck. Yeah, that's the shaking. But anyway, again, I'm just trying to make this quick. It's really the only time I had time to do this. Yeah, anyway, so Kenseth is a good dark horse pick. And then quickly, Kevin Harvick is a must-have in everybody's lineup today, especially with 10,000 to win. Even though I can only use him 2 more times, it's 10,000 to win today. He's a guaranteed lock for this racetrack. He has finished in the top 10 in the last 7 races. Since racing with Stewart-Haas Racing in 2014, has not finished outside of the top 10. I don't think that is going to happen again today. I think he's going to finish inside the top 10, and that includes a win in last year's race with this very package. So again, must-have Kevin Harvick for the Brickyard 400. You can look at guys like Brad Keselowski, who's won this race in the last couple seasons, has had a couple top 5s, but Denny Hamlin, most importantly, has, I believe, 5 top 10s in the last 7 races here in the Brickyard 400, so he is a pretty good, solid candidate as well, and we'll talk about that a little more as I state who I'm going to have in my fantasy lineup, so here we go. Alright folks, so here's a look at who is on the fantasy team here today. But first, as I mentioned, $10,000 to win for whoever has the highest score here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Brickyard 400 on the Fantasy Live today. Now, also, this is exactly what we saw at Talladega. We saw how close we were at Talladega. We had a good run there. Pocono doubleheaders on Saturday, gained about another 2,000, and then we lost that 2,000 back on Sunday. So we're right back to where we were going into last weekend. We still have 11 races left in the regular season. That includes today, obviously 10 after today's race. So here's a look at who I have on my team. I did have Christopher Bell last week. I already adjusted the lineup here to get through this as quick as I could because, again, I'm on borrowed time. But, yeah, so took Christopher Bell out, put Brad Keselowski in. Brad Keselowski won this race 2 years ago, and I was there for the Brickyard 400, and he has 2 top 5s in the last 3 seasons here. Eric Almirola staying in the lineup, just like he was last week. Eric Almirola, 4 straight top 5s. That's a career high for him. I see him keeping that kind of a run today. I think the races today will play out a lot like they did at Pocono last week. It's the same length and racetrack, 2.5 miles. Clean air is going to mean so much, so they're going to battle for track position, which means restarts are going to be extra chaotic, and strategy is going to be a big part of the game today to try and keep that strategy with the track position. That's what we saw last year in the Brickyard 400 too with this very package. So I think it's going to be a lot of the same there, and that's why I have Eric Almirola on the team. He finished, of course, 3rd and 5th in both of the 2 Pocono races last week. So I think he's got a good shot at a top 5 today. He starts 5th. Kyle Busch also staying in the lineup. Kyle Busch starts 7th. He has great success here. He's got 5 top 10s in the last 7 races here. He's almost a definite lock. Obviously, the only reason he wasn't a definite lock is just because he hasn't performed as well compared to really... I mean, he's performing well to the fact that he's going to be in the playoffs easily, but he's 11th in the point standings, not having a Kyle Busch-like season, but I'll keep him in the lineup today. Again, going for the 10 grand. Kevin Harvick is my must-lock, my must-have, an absolute lock for not only myself, but every one of you guys should have him in your lineup no matter how many usages you have left. He will score points. As I mentioned, 7 top 10s in the last 7 races. So that's every single race he has been in the Brickyard 400 with Stewart-Haas. He has finished in the top 10 with 1 win last season. Again, last season they used the same package as what they are using this year. And also, he also won at one of the Pocono races last week. Again, I think it's going to play out similar pit strategy. So Rodney Childress, crew chief, on top of the Forest pit box, going to make some bold calls. I think he's going to get that car up towards the front. He will lead laps today. Denny Hamlin as well. He won the other Pocono race and finished second in the one that Harvick ended up winning. Harvick, of course, finished second in the one. So for that reason, we're going to keep Hamlin in the lineup. Denny Hamlin's been close to winning this race the last couple of years as well. Of course, it looked like he probably had the win locked in before Keselowski passed him coming to the white flag 2 years ago. Denny Hamlin's going to try to get the Brickyard 400 and add another crown jewel to the list. And then we're going to keep Ryan Blaney in the lineup, but we're going to start him in the garage. Again, he's been fast on these 550 horsepower racetracks this year, very consistent. Didn't get the finishes he necessarily deserved at Pocono, so that's why we're going to start him in the garage. Obviously, if he has a strong day, he will be up towards the front. Also starts 12, so that's the worst pill draw of the top 12 starters in that group. So another reason why we're going to start him in the garage, because track position, again, is the key. And that's the only thing with Harvick there, too. But, again, there will be pit strategy in the first stage. They will have to make at least one pit stop. It'll likely be during the competition yellow, if anything. So we'll just have to wait and see. Not sure when the competition yellow is. Now my race picks. My prediction to win today comes down to two guys. It comes down to Denny Hamlin, and it comes down to Kevin Harvick. We want Kevin Harvick. It's a safe choice. Again, he won here last year. He's my only must-have on the video today and for today's race. I think it's a solid lock that he will contend for the win. So be back for the post-race analysis video later on tonight. And subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the predictions. And comment down below who you think is going to win the Brickyard 400 later tonight. Again, we'll be back for post-race analysis. And I'll catch you later.